What landed you into prison initially?
Initially, what landed me in prison? Second-degree homicide.
Second-degree homicide.
Yeah.
Now, you were charged with this.
Yeah, I was charged with second-degree homicide. State of Alabama.
Locked up in county jail.
Yeah.
Did they give you a bond?
Yeah, I had a bond. I think it was like 180. I got out on bond, but it was like, I stayed in the county for maybe 3-4 months, then I got out.
It took that long to get the money right, or it took that long to get the actual bond at that time?
It took that long, a little both. Like, you know what I'm saying, moms put the crib up and a little bread, you know what I'm saying? So it took to get everything together, it took that long.
Did they give you a bond right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tried to get the bond reduced?
Yeah, we did. They didn't, because I had been on the run for a while.
Mm.
Yeah, I was running for I'm right at 4 years. Right at about 3 years and 8 months I was on the run, so.
How'd they catch you?
In Tennessee. My homie headlights was off. We was leaving a little spot and he had his lights off. But he wasn't, what's so crazy, he wasn't even in his normal car. He was in a rental car, so he was thinking that it had auto lights on and it didn't. Yeah.
Now, he was driving?
Yeah.
And they still got you?
Yeah. Yep.
Usually when people get pulled over, they just check the driver and that sort of thing. Why would they check you?
I gave my brother information. I was using my younger brother information, and it came back right. But he said he still wanted to take me down. Just, you know, I guess a cop. I guess he had his intuition or whatever. You know, he took me down, to fingerprinted me, and there I was.
I wonder why he would ask for your information, period, because usually they pull you over for a headlight, they would just want to know the driver's information.
Well, it was the area we was in. We was right off Shelby in Nashville, Cashville, Tennessee, you know. We was right off Shelby, and, you know, I guess it's, at that time, I think it was 2006, they're redoing the area now, but at that time it was like still, you know, kind of like rough, a little rugged. You know, they redoing it now, you know, around the Titan Stadium and all that, but back in 2006 it was kind of, you know what I'm saying, still rough and rugged back, you know, in the area, so they was doing police were doing a lot of work over there, so, yeah.
You felt like it was some discrimination, stereotyping, profiling involved?
No, I just think he just said he wanted to be sure. I gave him information and he checked it, you know, it came back right.
Over a headlight?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but now my homie did have a little paraphernalia. He was coming back from Houston, the All-Star game in Houston, and he had a little paraphernalia in the dashboard, so I guess that probably kind of like made him want to really see who I was.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they fingerprint you, and tell us how they actually how they actually find out it's you and not your brother.
Well, they called the neighbor house back in Birmingham. They called the neighbor and told the neighbor, because they called my mom's house. My mom was asleep. She ain't gonna answer no phone at that time in the morning. So they called the neighbor house, and the neighbor went to my mom's house and woke her up, knocked on the door, said they got my younger brother. And she was like, nah, he sleep, he downstairs sleep. What you talking, knocking on the heat? Nah, you know. And when my neighbor went back home, they called back a little bit later, probably like 20 minutes later, as I was told. And he told them what they said. They figured they had the right person, so, you know. Yeah, so I rolled out in the county jail in Nashville for like 3 months. Yeah, because they got me for falsifying information and some more stuff. Mm. And, you know, did the county time there, and then, you know, got transferred to Birmingham, you know, faced the situation.
So do they give you the bond while you're in Tennessee, or do they have to wait to transfer you?
Wait to transfer me. Yeah, they transferred me, shackled me, drove me from Nashville to Birmingham, shackled all the way down, we stopped somewhere like in Huntsville and got something to eat. It was crazy, and walked us in, they walked me in, I was by myself, they walked me into McDonald's and bought me a burger, and I was shackled all the way down. And I had to use the bathroom, and people was in the bathroom looking crazy and stuff, and they ordered me a burger and put me back in the car. And as we was coming, we got to Jefferson County, state line. We got past state line. We got to the sign that said Jefferson County. That's the county I'm from, and that's Birmingham. And Frankie Beverly Mays came on. We'll never forget, go the time of the day. And I knew I was gonna be all right. You know, it's just kind of like some weird situation. As soon as you see, welcome to Jefferson County, you're facing 25 to life in prison. You know. So I kind of felt like something, you know what I'm saying, something good was gonna happen, you know.
You bond out.
Yeah.
You get an attorney.
Yep.
And then what happens? Is there a plea deal offered to you?
Nah,
do you take it to trial?
We're going to trial. We're going to trial. You know, of course, you know, I ain't got no job and then, you know, I got to pay the lawyer. They want heavy money, that kind of case. So, you know, I was out there doing what I had to do to make sure they get paid. And I had a few people that looked out for me, you know what I'm saying? But basically, I had to do what I had to do to get, you know what I'm saying, make sure the lawyer get paid, you know, make sure he got his bread, you know. But we was going back and forth to trial, and by the third trial date, the DA offered a deal, you know, reduced the manslaughter. And we took it, ran with it.
What was the time of that deal?
7 years. Yeah, I did like right at with time served and everything from the county. My lawyer got my deal like 3 and 9 months, something like that. Came home. I came home with a vision that I had when I was in the penitentiary to start a record label. And I started it probably like a year after I got out. It's just 6 years now, and I've been running it since. You know, New York, everywhere.
Now, looking back, hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Did you make the right decision by taking that deal, or do you wish you would have fought it in trial?
I made the right decision. I never second guess myself. Yeah. I listened to my counsel. You know, I ain't the one to take deals, but in that situation, it was the best thing for me because circumstantial evidence in the state of Alabama didn't have a self-defense at the time. They got one now, so.
Did the attorney say, I feel confident, though, with this trial, I can beat it?
No, he felt 50-50. And I can't, you know, at least got to be 70-30 when you're talking about 25 to life. So.
Did you feel like you had a good attorney? He was keeping it real with you?
Yeah, he was. He was. He was real good. He's still my attorney.
Now, okay, let's talk about sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
After you take the plea, is there some time before you have to actually go and, I mean, do they give you this sentence right away? You know the sentence, you know the deal? Do they, okay, you agree to it, they take you in?
Nah,
they give you some time?
They gave me like 30 days. I had a real good lawyer, man, good team. And I had a bench lawyer that was real good with him, but they gave me like 30 days to get myself situated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finally go in, and where do they take you? What prison?
I went to the processing first, and then I went to, I was in Draper. That's normally where you go when you've never been in prison. I went to Draper, then I went to Holman for a minute, for like 2 months. Then I went to Elmore, and then I went to Staten. So it was mid-level after I got the deal, because they knew when they know you're going home, they kind of place you like that.
State prison?
Yeah.
Now, what prison, out of all the ones you mentioned, which one did you spend most of the time at?
Man, at Draper.
Draper?
Yeah.
What level of state prison is that?
It's medium. It's medium.
Like a level 2?
Yeah.
I think they go as high as level 3.
Level 3, yeah.
On the state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you intimidated?
Nah, I ain't never.
Honestly, be honest.
Nah, I don't feel nothing.
Because this is prison. This is not county jail.
Nah, yeah, I don't feel nothing. Like, it's life, man. We all bleed.
Your first night in prison, what was that like?
Man,
take us back to that moment. Not county anymore.
That was in the process, the holding till they got us to where the camp they were gonna send us to. So it was just like chaos. Like, young cats don't sleep, man. So they just moving around. It wasn't, but to me, prison what you make of it. You're a man wherever you go.
How did you pass the time?
I worked out a lot. I worked out a lot, and I prayed a lot, and I planned a lot. I planned for this day right here.
Did you study your case at all?
Yeah, I did, and I knew what I was up against, so I knew what my lawyer did tell me, his honest assessment that I, you know what I'm saying, I should take the plea deal. I did.
But you studied just in case maybe there was a loophole? Or...
Yeah, we filed some stuff trying to get me out, but because I took the plea, it was null and void.
Did you rap inside?
I never rapped a day in my life until after I got out of prison. And it's funny because a guy walked up to me rapping in my face, and he was intoxicated. And I just started rapping back. And he stopped me. He said, "Man, your voice kind of, you got a crazy voice. You should try it out." So one thing led to another. I ended up in the studio, and but I ended up in the studio because he wanted some smoke from me, and so what he was trying to do was trying to get me, you know what I'm saying, bring him something to smoke to the studio. And when I got to the studio, he was like, "Man, the other night when I met you, man, your voice, I'm telling you, but he's been doing music for a while. Big shout out to Malachi 3D. And I was like, nah, man, I really don't rap, you know what I'm saying? I'm out in the field. And he was like, "Man, I'm telling you, you got a dope voice." So one thing led to another. I went in the booth and, you know, I had a story to tell, so it was, what's the best way? You know, something real.
So rapping came after prison?
Yeah.
You never wrote any lyrics, nothing?
Well, I always wrote poetry, so that was something I always loved to do as a kid. So, and I played the drums 1 year in middle school. And I sung in the high school choir, so it was it just came natural. Music was embedded in me, you know what I mean? Like I grew up on it, you know, in church choir, stuff like that, so.
But did you do any poetry writing while you were locked up?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I did poetry since a kid.
That's not looked as like, man, he's writing poetry in prison, that's kind of soft. Not looked as soft?
Nah, don't nobody really know what you're writing, you know, like having a ledger, you know, a diary. Nobody gonna know what you write, you know, unless you show it to them. Prison ain't like people try to make it seem like it is, you know.
Did you use any of your poetry that you wrote in prison and turn them into actual lyrics in the music that you did after your prison stint?
No, because honestly, I didn't know I was gonna do music when I was in prison. I just wanted to start a record label, but I wasn't consumed with being an artist.
So you wanted to sign other artists?
I wanted to sign other artists.
While you were locked up, did you hear good talent?
I heard great talent. I'm looking for somebody now that was incarcerated with me, Jeremy Franklin. If you see this video, get at me, boss.
When you talk about talent in prison, was it just rappers? Was it singers?
Nah, Jeremy was singing, rapping, making beats. He was doing it all. And he real talent. You can just see it. I got an A&R ear too, so yeah.
Somebody watching this,
yeah,
maybe they're headed to prison themselves for the very first time.
Yeah.
What are some do's and don'ts inside prison?
Rule number one in my book: just stay to yourself. You know, that's keep you out of a lot of stuff. Just stay to yourself. That's for both do's and don'ts. Do both of that. Just do it. Just stay to yourself, man. Like, that's the best way. Do your time and come home.
When you say stay to yourself, what does that actually mean?
Don't try to click up with a lot of different people, because that's when problems come. Yeah, just move like you move. You know, but you know, you got some people, they in gangs and stuff like that, you know. But 9 times out of 10, to me, those people that can't stand alone, get out.
Can one survive in prison without having to join a gang?
I did. I'm not in a gang.
Did you have to fight in prison?
Yeah, I got to fight probably like 3-4 times.
Defending yourself, or you were the aggressor?
Yeah, nah, I'm a cool dude. I don't bother nobody.
Can one make it in prison without having to fight? Or is that inevitable?
Well, if
at least one fight.
You gon' yeah, I think pretty much everybody get into an altercation way that you're gonna be a man or you're gonna be a mouse. You're gonna do what you gotta do. So, you know, it's best to be a man, because if not, but you know, you can't make somebody be a man if they're not a man. That's when you get taken advantage of after that, because everybody watching. It's closed in, it's closed community. That's all. The prison just like the streets, man. It's just closed in. You can't dodge it.
So if you try to run away, if you try to
can't
get a
run away.
CO
Where you
involved,
It don't make no difference. That's the. I think to me that was like the thing about prison. Like if I got a problem with you, Small, I'ma see you. You ain't know where you going.
can it be talked out? Can it be worked out so it doesn't have to get physical? Or is it no way around it? It's going to get physical.
If just like on the streets, if it ain't been no disrespect, we can talk it out. But once you cross that line of disrespect, ain't no talking. You know, it is what it is.
Were you ever worried about, and I don't know if you got any good time and that sort of thing. You did mention good time, yeah?
Yeah, from being in the county jail.
Okay, so you got good time. Were you ever worried about maxing out your sentence or adding additional charges because of a fight?
Yeah, I was in, I think maybe 45 days before I came home, was due to come home. I got there and got into an altercation, and the warden came and told me that, you know what I'm saying, he was going to talk to the judge about, you know, some stuff. He was just trying to make, you know, the boo game, but not really. But, you know, it made me realize I had to change, though. That's when I changed, like when I was in lockup, right before I came home, so.
Like maybe telling another person, look, I'm not trying to get into a fight. I don't want an additional charge, or I don't want to extend my stay here.
They don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that.
Did you ever have to do the whole solitary confinement?
Nah, just lockup.
Is that what is lockup? Is that similar?
Yeah, it's similar. It's the same, but it's not, because you're not in the max camp. It's not the whole. It's just you isolated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if you was in the max camp, it'll be like, you know, 23. You know, it's the same, but it's basically the same.
How much time did you have to do in lockup?
I did like 20 days, something like that.
Oh. Now, when you are, let me ask you two questions here. Before I ask this question, let me ask you this question. First, you did 4 years. How fast or slow does that time go by?
To me, it's mental. Like, it goes by, but it goes by slow, then it speeds up. And you look back, you did 6 months, you did a calendar, you did 2 calendars. It's mental, though. Time is mental. Being incarcerated is mental.
So this brings me to this point. Lockup. Does time go any slower in lockup?
Yeah, it slowed down a little bit. You know, but I'm a God-fearing man, so when you know how to pray, you know what I'm saying, you can beat anything.
Was it, whatever it is that you did to get into lockup, was it worth it to be in lockup because of that situation?
Yeah, your respect. I stand on that. So yeah, it's worth it.
Craziest thing you've seen while you were locked up? In prison, behind bars. Not in actual lockup, but just behind bars, period.
Somebody got high and they just lost their mind and they couldn't go nowhere, but it's locked down. And they got high and they went crazy and they went to cutting themselves. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Do people get raped in prison?
To me, I think it's more so they want to be raped. Like if you're a man, you ain't nothing going. To me, that's just my opinion, you know.
Now, have you ever seen that show on MSNBC on TV called Lockup? Yeah.
Nah, I don't really watch it, man, because you know, that's a part of my life that, you know what I'm saying, I put behind me, and I'm just, you know, I'm telling my story basically. And it's part of it. I'm not ashamed of it, so, you know.
But you have seen it.
Yeah.
You don't watch it, but you have seen it.
I've seen it. I done flicked the channel and seen it, yeah.
Whenever you did see any of it, was it an accurate depiction of prison life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just curious. What kept you motivated for 4 years?
Family. Survival. I just knew this day was coming, to where I was going to be able to tell the youth that you can make the wrong decision and correct it. And the only way you can do that is you correct it and you be an example. So I knew this day was coming. Well, it's still in the process, but I knew, you know.
Now, you were in state prison.
Yeah.
How close were you to your family? Distance-wise?
About like 3.5 hours, something like that.
Were you the type of inmate that wanted prison visits from your family, visitation, or were you one of those inmates that didn't want to see family?
I tried to stop them like a lot. My mom didn't come that much, but I tried to stop. The person that was coming to see me, I was trying to stop them, but they still came.
Why? Why did you not want to see them?
Because it seemed like it slowed the time down.
Really?
Yeah, when they leave, it seemed like it slowed the time down. Because it refreshing your memory of being with them or around them. Yeah, so, but if they gone, the longer they stay gone, the more the time seemed like it kept going to the next time you seen them. So, you know, like somebody coming once every 4 or 5 months, you see them twice a year going by. You know what I'm saying? Versus them coming every visit or every other visit. So.
See, I would think it would be the opposite effect. You seeing a piece of, you know, the free world and that sort of thing. That's almost like a good feeling. It's tangible.
It's crazy because it's so crazy because you'll be happy when they come, and then when they leave, you're sad. So it's kind of like it rips your emotion. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm happy, like what's up? You know, we see each other, like you happy to see them, and then you talk for 2 hours, and then when it's time to go, you know what I'm saying, just let you down. Like you're like, damn, I'm ready to go home to the crib. So, yeah.
Was it type of visitation they could only see you through a glass type of thing?
Nah, it was on the yard.
Okay, so you could hug and kiss and whatever. Yeah. Now, who saw you the most?
Tiffany. Yeah.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Who is that?
My daughter's mother.
Okay. Now, El Chapo escaped prison twice.
Yeah.
Did you ever have thoughts on breaking out?
Who don't? Who don't? To be honest, yeah.
Some people have thoughts. Some people actually work. They try to turn those thoughts into action.
Yeah, some people do. But you know, you get caught, you're gonna get more time. So you just walk around the track. You do look over the fence when you walk around the track, get some fresh air. You be like, you know.
So the thought goes through your head.
Yeah.
Did any inmates in your prison actually get a chance to break out or no? They attempted or?
No, not at my camp. I think a camp close by, I think something like that, and they put us on lockdown. But